Am I the meanest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the prettiest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Pawn's drunk.
Well, who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
Who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
I can't hear you.
Pawn's drunk. AKA Mr. Moo won't shine himself.
Of Harlem.
You already know this is Pawn, Drunk, Boxer, a.k.a. Mr. Moo shot himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Adobo. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you at on this side of heaven. God bless you all. Ladies and gentlemen, see the title, see the thumbnail. Hey, and it's going to be a good boxing weekend, a great boxing weekend. Oh, man, I forgot to upload a picture. I forgot to upload a picture. Let me shout out to the people in the chat. What's good, man? What's good? What's good? What's good? Jesse, what's good? Sanchez in the building. What's good? Sanchez in the building. Okay, you got it right this time, Sanchez. Good looking out, my brother. Good looking out. One of the members of the Punch Drunk Boxing channel. That's what I'm talking about. Good support. Good support. Everybody in the chat. What's good? JNY Boxing Borracho. Dímelo, mi hermano. Jaime Hernandez. Dímelo, mi hermano. Jaime Hernandez. Chicago. Chicago. Dímelo, ¿qué tú me estás diciendo, Jaime Hernández? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Say Jaime Hernandez said all of Canelo's VADA testing came back super clean. Which I'm talking about. We needed to have tested Andre thoroughly. Laughing out loud. That joker was something in those interviews. Hey, Jaime, hey, come on. Hey, give me a break. Give me a break. Oh, look at Intrigue. He's out here. Oh, yeah, man. For Intrigue, your boy, Mr. Moonshine, is only good when he talks about Keith from Tom Thurman, right, Intrigue? But when I talk about something else, you don't show your boy some support. Only when it's time for Thurman, right? Only when it's time for Thurman, Intrigue shows up. Come on, man. You gotta be my boy all the time, man. You could challenge your boy. You could, you know what I'm saying? But damn, man. You be leaving your boy, you know what I'm saying, in the island by himself until I talk about Thurman. That's when you show up. Okay, I see. You only like your boy Punch Drunk when he talks about Thurman. You only like your boy Punch Drunk when we talk about Thurman. Danny in the building. What's good, man? Danny Medina, the man of the hour. What's good, Danny Medina? What's good? What's good? What's good, man? Le Sazón, El Adobo, Luis Reyes in the building. Good looking now, good looking now. Yo, if you want to join and become a member to the Punch Drunk Boxing, y'all already know this week. I'm ready. I got you some exclusives for this week for the Drunk Nation exclusives. I put the backstage video for the members that are Drunk Nation exclusive. I put a couple of clips of Saturday night. I mean, from Friday night. El canal más respetado del internet, el borracho. Así mimito, señor, el pastor de boxeo. Epic C Magic in the building. Everybody subscribe to his channel. Artistic, man. Artistic. Nah, intrigue, man. You believe in your boy like that, man. I see you in the chat on the boxing voice. You be going in at your boy, bro. Unless if it's not Thurman, that's when you want to be my friend again, huh? That's when you want to be my friend again. Oh, man. Gotta rock with your boy, man. Can't be living. They be killing me out there, son. They be killing me out there. Right? Yo, right, hi, man. He be going in on me, bro. I see you in the chat, man. I see everything, man. Even when I'm driving, I see the chat, bro. I see you. Mark Nash in the building. Everybody subscribe to Mark Nash. Mark Nash channel. Subscribe to doing everything, talking about the entertainment business, the hip hop, boxing, great panel, great insight, know how to run a show, know how to run the panel, got the great energy, ATL in the building. Let's go. Everybody subscribe to Mark Nash. You said I keep it 100. Okay. Now, there's people out there that's talking about, oh, what is Keith Thurman talking about now? What the hell is Keith Thurman talking about that now he wants Bud Crawford? That's what they saying. But let's not forget that the only man The only man from the other side of the street, across the street, the other side of the street, you know, the only man that supplied 2 contracts, 2 term sheets to Top Rank was Keith One Time Thurman. So for those that say, oh, now Thurman wants to fight Bud. Now Thurman wants to fight Bud. Nah, he was the only one in the PBC that actually did the paperwork to send representatives to fight Bud Crawford. And everybody got this $10 million from their butthole. There was never the $10 million. I don't even know where the fuck y'all got that from. There was never $10 million, ladies and gentlemen. All right? It was never $10 million. I don't even know who pulled that off of the ass. But Keith One Time Thurman was the only one. I always tell y'all folks that boxing is not this. Boxing is not this school play or after school or whatever. See if they send notifications, because YouTube is not sending my lives notifications for a while. Hold on, let me see. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. What the fuck? What's happening? What's happening? All right. No doubt. He's wanting 25 million now. Nah, man, where y'all got that news from? Y'all never heard that from Keith One Time Thurman? Y'all never heard that from the PBC side? Because in the PBC side, they never talk about negotiations. You can't, as a PBC fighter, you cannot talk about negotiations. You cannot talk about the contracts until it gets announced. So all that $5-10 million, y'all heard that from it was garbage. It was fake news. It was fake news. But Keith One Time Thurman was the only one that was calling. Yes, Keith One Time Thurman, when Bud Crawford was calling him out on ESPN, yes, Keith One Time Thurman said, yo, you go fight me Amir Khan. And Bud Crawford did that. All these guys in the PBC was saying, yo, Bud Crawford, fight somebody, get a belt first, try to make him go through all these hoops and things of that nature. I get it, but Keith One Time Thurman said, and I know people's going to be like, oh, yeah, nah, he just saying that because he lost to Manny Pacquiao. He's just saying that because he lost to Manny Pacquiao. In the end of the day, he's the only one that served paperwork. And the sport of boxing, paperwork speaks louder than words. Business decisions speak louder than words, ladies and gentlemen. But now, Terence Bud Crawford, who beat Sean Porter, who stopped Sean Porter. And I know a lot of people got mixed emotions, but listening to interviews of Sean Porter, the latest interview with Sean Porter, Kenny Porter with Raider Raheem, and I've done videos. I did the video and I did the live before I listened to those interviews. At this point, you know what it is? It is what it is. Kenny Porter, I guess, did the right thing. Sean Porter justified his father's move, and I think that we got to move on. Terence Bud Crawford stopped Sean Porter. Sean Porter said that he never got hit like that in his career. The amount of time he got hit like that in his career, and he said that, you know, he wasn't training all the way to the level of where he should be training and where his father, the trainer, wanted him to train. I do feel the only thing is, I don't want nobody to discredit or devalue everybody else that was out there working, like Barry Hunter, Coach Wade, and things of that nature, because it's kind of, you know, it's kind of a misrepresentation at the end of the day. But Sean Porter took responsibility for it. So, you know, because Coach Wade does a hell of a job with his athletes. Kenny Porter is known for one of the hard-nosed trainer, and his training regimen is not easy. It's not easy, and this is why we see Sean Porter as being one of the best conditioned, not only boxers but athletes in all of sports. But Keith One Time Thurman, ladies and gentlemen, there's no secret I'm a fan of Keith One Time Thurman. Keith One Time Thurman, when I was tired of the professional level, I was just looking at the amateur circuit. The 07-08 class was my favorite class. I said it tons of time on my channel, but for the new people that's showing up, everybody smash the like button. Let's go, man. Let's keep this going. Come on. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Keith One Time Thurman, Charles Hatley, Demetrius Boo Andrade, Gary Russell Jr., Deontay Wilder, the Charlo brothers, Bud Crawford, Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia, Alexander Usyk, Daniel Jacobs. That was my class. That was my favorite class. Just like, you know, in the NBA, 1996, with Kobe and Allen Iverson and Ray Allen and Kittles and Camby and Stephon Marbury. That was like my class. You understand what I'm trying to say? So with the 07, 08 class, that was my favorite class. And I paid attention a lot to the amateurs at that time. I paid attention more. I paid more attention to the amateurs around that time than the professional circuit. So I know these guys and I know what they're capable of doing. And maybe I do think that Errol Spence, Sean Porter, and not Danny Garcia, but Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. Errol Spence was the 12th class, but I'm just saying that I think they overstayed their welcome in the welterweight division. I do know that it's impossible right now. I don't even know how Errol Spence still makes the 147-pound limit, in my opinion. I seen him in New York one time. He was walking like 190 pounds, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know how he squeezed to 147. I do not know. But hey, if he could make the weight, he make the weight. And then he rehydrates, I don't know, to the 170s. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you like this. Errol the True Spence is a big dude for 147. Again, I don't know how he squeezed to 147. Keith Thurman, I think, overstayed his welcome. I think this is why you don't see Errol Spence and Keith Thurman knocking people out, because I think that their powers is limited at the 147 at this point of their career. I think they should move to 147 to 154. If Danny Garcia is already outgrowing 154, can you imagine that Keith Thurman and Errol Spence and Sean Porter have grown the 147-pound division? But it is a prestige division, one of the richest division, a prestige division in the sport of boxing, and is a very deep division with a lot of talent, with the past, the past, the present, and the future. Manny Pacquiao just recently retired. Ugas too. Ugas have beaten Bud Crawford in the amateurs. Danny Garcia has beaten Bud Crawford in the amateurs. And if you've been following the amateurs around that time, you never thought that Bud Crawford was going to be this. To be honest, I didn't think, to be honest, around this time, you know, I really thought, looking at the amateurs, that Demetrius Andre, who was the #1 amateur around that time, was going to be that guy around this time. Bud Crawford, a lot of people didn't really think he was going to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? But Bud Crawford, if you look at him in the amateurs and look at him now, he has grown so much. It's only a limited of fighters who have grown in the professional level. A lot of people just stay with the amateur skill set. But Bud Crawford has grown a lot. I thought that Keith Thurman was growing a lot until the injuries start picking up. Remember, in the amateurs, Keith Thurman, they didn't have no jab. You know, he implemented the jab in the professional level. The footwork was great. What got way better in the professional level as well. Always been an athletic dude, play football. But the injuries, and I don't know. We always question at this point. We'll always question the hunger of Keith Thurman. Where is Keith? But every time Keith Thurman opened his mouth, the whole boxing, the sport of boxing always is intrigued with whenever Keith Thurman opened his mouth. Keith Thurman don't have to be in social media. Keith Thurman don't have to have 1 million followers. But in the sport of boxing, when Keith Thurman opens his mouth, everybody is listening. Everybody is listening. Ramon said Crawford will smoke Thurman. It's not going to be easy. I already know that Bud Crawford is a seasoned veteran. He's a seasoned fighter. He got the heaviest bag in the sport of boxing, in my opinion. Got the heaviest bag. Got more tools in the toolbox than anybody else in the sport of boxing. Got great footwork. Got great defense. Got great jab, power to the body, to the head. Could switch unorthodox to southpaw orthodox. IQ all the way up. But in the end of the day, Canelo Alvarez is #1 pound for pound, libra por libra, 4-division world champion. 4-division world champion, newly undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. But let's keep it with Bud Crawford, Thurman, and Errol Spence. Ladies and gentlemen, like I told you yesterday, Errol Spence power walked his ass out the arena when Bud Crawford stopped Sean Porter. Errol Spence power walked out the arena. Was looking for Uber. He forgot about the Escalade. He forgot about who he's walking with. Ellie was trying to help him out the arena. Ellie Esports reporting was helping Errol Spence out the arena. He was power walking. He was leaving. He was almost jogging because Bud Crawford was looking for him when he got the mic. He was like, no, don't give him the mic. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here before Bud Crawford holds the mic and start calling me out. I gotta get out of here. Please move. He was pushing the security. He didn't even say, yo, y'all know that he was like 2 seats next to Gervonta Tan Davis. He didn't tell Gervonta Tan Davis bye. He just rushed out the arena, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. But put it this way, he forgot he was walking with right, Jason? Yo, let's keep it real, y'all. Look, look, I break things down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively, but I'm a Thurman. I'm a Thurman guy. Oh, he just made me love the sport again. When I was falling out love with the sport, Keith Thurman, Demetrius Andre made me love the sport again. So I'm always gonna give them props, but I'm gonna keep it real. When Keith Thurman was around Errol Spence, his mood changed. His energy just changed to the point I'm like, yo, Keith, what the fuck are you doing? Why you get so humble around Errol Spence? Why you get so humble around Errol Spence? Everybody see it. You remember that time when he was sitting next to him in the Showtime shit? And Keith Thurman said, the worst thing you could say to a future competitor. He said, I'm not as hungry. I'm not as hungry. I'm not just paraphrasing, but he said, I'm not just hungry like Errol Spence right now. How can you tell the man that you possibly could be fighting that you're not as hungry? No. That's when I said, this is not Keith Thurman. I even did a video and I said, please, can you find me the real Keith Thurman? I know he was in Nepal. Can you find the real Keith Thurman in Nepal? They have hijacked Keith Thurman. They have kidnapped Keith Thurman. Can you bring the real Keith Thurman from Nepal? Please bring him back, because every time he got next to Errol Spence, it almost like the spirit of Keith Thurman, like the spirit they just took. And then he just, hi. Hi, Errol. Hi, Errol. But guess what? Errol Spence, I'm going to say it like this. Hey, yo, I'm going to make a statement right now. You can edit if you want. You could cut this one. Even though that I said that Keith Thurman, his energy changed every time he was around Errol Spence have become the new Keith Thurman. The guys that critique, if you critique Keith Thurman the way that I'm explaining it right now, Errol Spence have become that Keith Thurman when it comes to Bud Crawford. Errol Spence was walking in the shoes of Keith Thurman. He wanted to do everything Keith Thurman did. Keith Thurman fought in Leonard Bundle. Errol Spence fought Leonard Bundle. Keith Thurman went back-to-back with Sean Porter and Danny Swift Garcia. Errol Spence wants to go back-to-back with Sean Porter and Danny Swift Garcia. Keith Thurman wants to fight Manny Pacquiao, yet lost. Errol Spence wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. Keith Thurman laid the blueprint for Errol the Truth Spence. Let me say it again. Keith Thurman laid the blueprint for Errol the Truth Spence. And not only laid the blueprint career-wise, but he laid the blueprint character-wise. Because now, when Errol Spence is around Bud Crawford, Errol Spence is a humble man. Errol Spence don't want to talk about Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford goes to his fight. He don't want to talk about Bud. I don't want to fight. He's acting now how Keith Thurman was acting towards him, but yeah, he has this bitterness towards Keith Thurman, but you acting just like Keith Thurman. Errol Spence wants to beat Keith Thurman. You acting like him. If you feel that Keith Thurman couldn't keep the same energy around Errol Spence, and look at his career, how's it gone? He's doing everything Keith Thurman wants to do. The blueprint of Keith Thurman, Errol Spence is walking the yellow brick road. But yet, look at his character. He is rushing out the arena. He is power walking out the arena. What the fuck did you go to the fight for? Why did Errol Spence go to that fight? You know what people going to ask you. What you think? Why you power walking, Earl? Shout out to all the modern day Wolves, modern day gladiators. I'm just calling how I see it. Love Errol the Truth Spence. Love Bud Crawford. Love Keith Thurman. The welterweight division is my favorite division. If you look at my channel when it first began, just go to the oldest video and you won't see it's just about Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. Now, people's going to be like, how long has Keith Thurman have been out? How long have Keith Thurman been out? For quite a while, right? Quite a while. Keith Thurman has been out, right? And people's talking about, well, damn. Shout out to Sly, my brother, one of the members of the Punch Wrong Boxing channel. Good looking now, my brother. Hold on. I got you right here, son. I got you. Sly, Thurman is good for boxing. We miss him. Do you think he's taking too much time off? Also, H1 new channel is up. Got a strike. Shouts out to H and you. Thank you, Sly. Thank you, my brother. My brother, Thurman has got, I think he's taking a lot of time off, man. And the reason why I say that, well, it's not the reason. I mean, those are the facts. But he said in a recent interview, he said that his hands been good after the surgery. His hands been good for a year and change. He's been in the gym for a year and change. And I'm like, why the fuck he has not, excuse my language, damn it, it's a Christian show. Sly, he has stated that he's been good for a year and change. And I want to know, why has PBC not found him any type of dates? Now, maybe Keith Thurman is not going to get back in the ring until he regains his hand strength. There are certain fighters that know how to adjust to when their hands turn brittle, right? Let's not forget that Floyd Mayweather, after the Gotti fight, that's it. He put it all in the line. He sacrificed his hand for that fight. He wanted to beat the shit out of Gotti. He threw everything in the kitchen sink. He messed up his hands, right? I don't know. There was one time with Floyd Mayweather, he broke like 2 hands at the same time or something like that. He just got brittle hands, right? It was effing up all the time. And people talk about the defensive whiz of Floyd Mayweather. Let's not forget. Floyd Mayweather was an offensive fighter. Floyd Mayweather was an offensive fighter, which he barely even threw jabs as Pretty Boy Floyd. As Pretty Boy Floyd, he took risks. But it got to the point where his hands was effing up. But just like greatness, Floyd Mayweather went back to the drawing board and started implementing more defense into his game, in which he always had good defense. But I'm just saying, he started being a defensive fighter because of his hands. He started being just a boxer, not a boxer puncher, because before he was a boxer puncher. Then he became a slick fighter, you know, a slick defensive fighter. But he needed to do that because of his hands. So he made the adjustments, just like Michael Jordan. Great people know how to make the adjustment. Just like Tom Brady, when you get old, they make the adjustment. Michael Jordan knew that he don't have the athleticism that he had prior to the first 3-peat, right? But what did he do? He went back to the drawing board. He implemented the fadeaway jumper right there on the buffer, right there on the side, and that's his patented move. No, he was scoring easier in the last 3-peat than the first 3-peat without his athleticism, just like Kobe. They make the adjustments. So Keith Thurman is trying to make the adjustments, and I think that Keith Thurman, who was always a power hitter, he's trying to adjust to just being a boxer, and I think that's actually being hard because he's not a high-volume puncher. Hyman in the building, keep bringing the heat. Gracias, mi hermano. Gracias de lo mío. Gracias. I'm always going to be bring the heat. I already know, me la dobo, el sazón, el borracho del boxeo, mi hermanos. He's been meditating too long. My boy Punch Drunk, I can't lie. Crawford with dog walk. What's good, T-Town? He said, my boy Punch Drunk, and I can't lie. Crawford will dog walk Thurman and be real exposed Errol real bad. I think that's all right. I'm gonna tell you right now. If y'all haven't heard me break down the book Crawford and Keith Thurman, let's not forget who everybody else was calling at one time. And I know that was a long time ago, but since we're talking about Bud Crawford and Keith Thurman, but damn it, let me talk about it. Bud Crawford, remember, they asked him, what's your legacy fight, Bud Crawford? Keith Thurman. They asked Earl Spence, what's your legacy fight? He said Keith Thurman. I did a video long time ago, and it was Max Kellerman that was in First Take, and they was trying to pressure the Earl Spence and the Bud Crawford. They were trying to pressure it. I mean, now that it come through fruition, when the all smoke settled, now it is Bud Crawford and Earl Spence, but just because of Thurman's hands. In the end of the day, I'm going to keep on saying what I'm saying. In the welterweight division, nobody has done nothing more significant aside from Manny Pacquiao. I'm talking about this era. I'm talking about the Sean Porter, Danny Swift Garcia, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Bud Crawford. Even though, yes, Terence Bud Crawford stopped Sean Porter. Keith Thurman beat Sean Porter 2016. Bud Crawford is just getting his foot wet in the welterweight division with an elite fighter in which Thurman already beat when Porter was actually prepared good. Hey, I'm just going by Sean Porter, Kenny Porter. The fighter that Keith Thurman fought, the Sean Porter that Keith Thurman fought, was the most prepared Sean Porter, because even they was talking about that he wasn't that much prepared for the Errol Spence fight. I'm just going by what they say. I'm going by what Sean Porter and Kenny Porter say. So the most elite Sean Porter was versus Keith Tom Thurman, in which Sean Porter had to go to the hospital after the fight for dehydration. That means the level was matched. The level was matched. And I'm going to keep on saying this, folks. Errol Spence, Bud Crawford has not done anything more extreme significant, more significant than Keith Tom Thurman in the welterweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw how he praised in Terence Bud Crawford, in which he deserves all his praises. He deserves all his praise because I'm one of the ones that said, you know what? If he stopped Sean Porter, oh my God, I cannot imagine nobody stopping Sean Porter. But even that he beat Sean Porter, Errol Spence beat Sean Porter, and Danny Swift Garcia, you're only doing what Keith Thurman already done. You're only doing what Keith Thurman already done. How about, put it this way, y'all want to see Errol Spence fight Bud Crawford? I want to see, now that Sean Porter's been stopped, I want to see if Errol Spence, maybe in March, or maybe Bud Crawford, who could stop Keith Thurman. Because in the end of the day, even if Errol Spence fights Bud Crawford or Bud Crawford fights Errol Spence and one of them beats each other, there's going to be one name that's going to be talking. The guy that know how to promote himself, the guy that got the gift of gab, and Keith Thurman is going to call these guys out, and they're going to be like, yeah, I ain't do. Well, of course, they're going to do more significant when one of them beats each other. But at this point in time, nobody has done more significant things in the welterweight division more than Keith Tom Thurman. Now, has Errol Spence defended his unified titles? Yes, versus Danny Garcia, which Keith Thurman already beat. Has Sean Porter lost to Crawford and Spence? Yes, the guy that Keith Thurman already beat. And I understand that people want to leave Ugas out of this, but Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao. So we can't leave Ugas out of this. There's people out there that felt that Ugas probably edged it versus Sean Porter as well. Thurman is done. Okay, Thurman stops Bud, Jesse says. Let's not forget when they asked Bomac a couple of years ago, and I know it's only a couple of years ago. Bomac, they was asking Bomac, who is the most difficult? What's the most difficult fight for Bud Crawford in the welterweight division? What did he say? When they asked Bomac, what's the most difficult fight for Bud Crawford in the welterweight division? Who did he say? Who did he say, ladies and gentlemen? Help me out. When they asked Bomac, who is the most difficult fight for Bud Crawford, which name did he say? Let me see if we can find the video. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. It was a while ago. He said, "Oh, I want the people to hear it though." You feel me? There you go. Hold on. Hold on. I got y'all right here. I got y'all right here. Shout out to all the people in the chat. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. When they asked Bomac who's the most difficult fight for Bud Crawford,
who would be the most challenging? Probably Thurman. Probably Thurman. Yeah, probably Thurman.
Because a lot of people think Spence.
Well, because of Spence. Y'all, you see what size does to you. Nothing. When he, beat Benavidez. Benavidez is way bigger than him, taller than him, but that didn't mean nothing. His punches didn't even move Terence, so size don't mean anything. But Thurman is just immobile. Good with his punches. He punches from different angles.
Okay. You think Thurman will be the same fighter?
Bomac, the trainer, that needs to examine, that needs to go to the lab and examine who's the most difficult fight for Bud Crawford. Keith one-time Thurman. And I said that, if you follow my channel since way back when I started, when I'm getting like 2 views, 30 views, 5 likes, 1 dislike. We all started out like that, right? All the boxing content creators, we all started out like that. I said, I don't think that nobody's above, head and shoulders above anybody in the welterweight division. I said that. Even now, yes, Bud Crawford is crisp. Bud Crawford is the man. Yes, he got the heaviest bag in the welterweight division, probably the heaviest bag in all of boxing. But Bomac, the trainer, the genius behind Bud Crawford, know the strength and weaknesses of Bud Crawford, and knows the strength and weaknesses of his possible next opponent. Bud Crawford has stated the same thing. Why? Because in the end of the day, styles make fights. Styles make fights. Errol Spence, southpaw. Stationary. More stationary than the Bud, than the Thurman. Does everything good. Fundamentally sound. Not awkward. Throws everything at the same speed. Jab and power punches. Double the jab. Jab to the solo plex. Push off with the elbow. Wants you in the ropes. Bum, 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 body. Reset. Jab, jab. 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 Solo plex. Push off. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Stays in line. Reset. Jab. Jab. Jab, jab. Errol the True Spence is a cut and pace fighter. Does everything good. Very fundamentally sound. Good jab. Controls distance. Sometimes get hit. Stays in line. Does not faint at all. That does not faint. What does he have more than the other guys? He rehydrates bigger, range, taller. The natural ability of Errol Spence is that he's bigger and probably stronger than the rest. But in terms of skill set, if you ask Sean Porter, if you ask Daniel Garcia, if you ask Leonard Bundle, that all have faced Errol the True Spence, they ask him who got more pop. Keith one-time Thurman. Regardless how you feel and how I feel, the people that got in the ring with him, they said they got more power, that Keith Thurman got the most power. Now, what separates Keith one-time Thurman from Errol Spence in terms of skill set? Errol Spence got a better jab. Keith Thurman got better footwork. We seen both Buff Crawford and we seen Keith one-time Thurman switch from orthodox to southpaw. Go watch the tapes. When he switched Southpaw versus Leonard Bundle and knocked him down in the first round. He switched to Southpaw to knock him down. That's the awkwardness. So let's say Bud Crawford switches from Southpaw, and then boom, Keith Von Tom Thurman switching to Southpaw as well. You understand what I'm trying to say? The footwork of Keith Von Tom Thurman that knows how to get out of trouble when he is in trouble is something that is good. Really, I want to call him run Thurman, run Tom Thurman. At the end of the day, you got to be able, the opponent got to be able to cut the ring off. If you that much athletic, then Keith Von Tom Thurman, it's your job to cut the ring off when he's in trouble and take advantage of the wounded fighter. Keith Von Tom Thurman, when he gets hurt, what does he do? He comes back and wins the round. He got hurt versus Luis Collazo, came back and won the round and retired him. When he got hurt with Soto Carras, came back and won the round. When he got hurt with a body shot in the 8th round versus Porter, what did he do in the 10th round and the 11th round? When he got hurt in the 10th round with a body shot by Manny Pacquiao, he won the 11th round. Hit Manny Pacquiao with a thundering right that sent him to the ropes. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are dogs. Now, what has Keith Thurman been doing as of late? There's people in Florida that have said that he's stuck in the gym. Is he being in the gym because he wants to come out and actually be the old Keith Von Tom Thurman that I am not going to step inside the ring if I'm not one time? If I'm going to be this guy that's going to pop shot, I don't want to be the guy that's fighting Jose. I don't want to be the Josecito Lopez, Keith Von Tom Thurman. I don't want to be the guy versus Manny Pacquiao in which Keith Von Tom Thurman stated that he doesn't have the killer instinct. Now that may occur. That may occur. Lone said if Crawford connects Thurman like Pac-Man, that's the beginning of the end. Dímelo, Lopez. Dímelo, mi hermano. ¿Cómo está, señor? Dímelo, Punch. I felt like Boo-Boo's I like the Boo-Boo interview. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Boo-Boo Andre, Demetrius and Boo-Boo Andre, the WBO middleweight champion of the world, for granting me the interview, man. You know, I'm a small YouTuber trying to hope the doors open for your boy, Mr. Moonshine, you know, trying to get these exclusives, trying to get this content, trying to preserve the sport of boxing and show all these fighters love. You know, I'm tired of all these boxing channels just devaluing fighters, discrediting fighters, break down fights. One could be better than the other, but this pussy, bum, doing shit and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I'm playing around. You know, I'm joking around. Yeah, he was power walking and stuff like that. I don't believe that Errol Spence is scared of Bud Crawford. I don't think that Bud Crawford is scared of Errol Spence. I don't think that Keith Von Tom Thurman is scared of nobody. I don't think that no fighter is scared of nobody. This is what they've been doing since yay high. Keith Von Tom Thurman been doing this since 7 years old, bro. Bud Crawford doing this since 8, 9, 10 years old. Errol Spence been doing this since 14, 13 years old. This is what they do. What I think is that the business handlers are the ones that avoid fights. The hands in a cookie jar is the one that avoid fights. But how can now they avoid this fight? See, that narrative of crossing the street. Oh, Terence Crawford is crossing the street. As a matter of fact, I think he's already crossed the street. And that street got a dead end. It's either you fight him or either you leave. And guess what? If I were y'all, I will fight Bud Crawford right now, because guess what? If Bud Crawford is not going to trap you, guess who's going to trap you? Hungrier Lions. Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis is already in line. That's it. The welterweight division, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It's either you bounce to the 154-pound division or fight. Errol Spence, you're going to have to fight Bud Crawford or you're going to have to fight Boots Ennis, because he's already sniffing your neck in the IBF rankings. Virgil Ortiz already sniffing his neck in the WBC. And I'm not talking about no pause. You understand what I'm trying to say, all right? Y'all rainbow motherfuckers. That's it. No more, no, not even the business handlers could run anymore. The only thing that they could do is beg. You know what these business handlers going to do? Is beg the sanctioning bodies, is throw money, put money in the envelope, throw it at the WBO, throw it at the WBC, throw it at the IBF, and hope that they do not petition or accept the petition of Cameron Duncan. So Boots, to be honest, I think they would do Boots dirty. I think they would do Boots dirty, bro. Since he don't have a major promotional company, right? And Cameron Duncan is like, what, you know what I'm saying? He's not a massive promoter, right? He probably rubbed a lot of people off when he became a promoter. He was a great manager. Cameron Duncan was a great manager, but not a promoter. I think that the IBF, so they can make Errol Spence avoid Boots, is not create, but do something that they haven't done in years. Make Boo Boo Andre fight for the interim IBF to avoid, so Errol Spence could avoid Boots Ennis. I'm sorry, I said Boo Boo Andre. Boots Ennis. Look what they just did in the WBC. Matter of fact, look what they did in the WBO. In the WBO, let's not forget, I've been trying to tell y'all for quite some time, in the WBO, Virgil Ortiz was ranked number 1. In the WBO, Sean Porter in March 2020 was not, in 2020 was not ranked in the WBO. And then, not in ranking the WBO in the top 15. And then all of a sudden, he got into the rankings and then became number 4 and then bumped Virgil Ortiz from being number 1. Danielson Garcia was number 1, but then he was number 1 in the WBC and got the Errol Spence fight. 2020, matter of fact. So they played Virgil Ortiz dirty. And then as soon as they switched the rankings, then they mandated, the WBO mandated Sean Porter and Bud Crawford. But these young guys are already in position. These young fighters, the Virgil Ortiz and the Boots Ennis, is already in position. I don't want to hear nobody say that they ain't ready. They ready. All right? Y'all motherfuckers screaming like Tiffany Haddish. They ain't ready. They ain't ready. Nah, they ready, motherfuckers. They ready. They ready. Epic Magic in the building said Bud versus Jesus. Diablo, man. I'm going to tell you like this. Just like I said that Canelo Alvarez is in the zone. He on that greatness zone right now. Unstoppable. Bud Crawford is in that zone right now. He's in that zone. Swiss Beast. Zone. He's in that zone right now, though. So Keith One-Time Thurman really wants Bud Crawford. And I do think that he really wants Bud Crawford because he's the only one that has showing paperwork. This is just like when Devin Haney wanted Gary Russell Jr. They showed us paperwork. They wanted Gary Russell Jr. 1.5 million signed a term sheet. They wanted Gary Russell Jr. Keith Thurman wanted Bud Crawford. He went in on Bob Arum. But maybe they listen to Bomac and said, you know what? Sean Porter is an easier fight than Keith One-Time Thurman. And if I were them, knowing that Keith Thurman's hands has been fucked up, I would have fought Keith One-Time Thurman early last year. I would have, if I was Bud Crawford, I would have never fought Amir Khan. Was it Amir? I'm sorry, it was Kell Brook. Remember, before the Kell Brook fight, Keith Thurman sent the contracts and the term sheet to Top Rank. Not one time, twice. They chose to fight Kell Brook. They chose to fight Kell Brook. Saying that Keith Thurman overpriced himself. Overpriced himself how? The same money that they gave Sean Porter, Keith Thurman was asking for around that amount. Collected $4 to $5 million. Pay-per-view buys. How much they gonna end up with? If it's good pay-per-view buys, even if it goes to 300K, that's like $2 million right back into your pocket. So probably Bud Crawford is gonna walk out of there with like $9 to $10 million. Porter is gonna walk out of there with probably $8 million. So this is why, this is what I was arguing, even if Keith Thurman want to negotiate the $10 million flat fee, let's say, that's what people say, if $10 million was the truth, to negotiate is a good number to start negotiations. That's boxing. Bring that $10 million to $7 million to $6 million. Well, you know what? 7.5, 6. Remember, people was like $10 million to start. Well, how you going? If you're going to do a negotiation, how you going to start with? If your last fight with Manny Pacquiao, you almost made $10 million. You almost made $10 million. And I know this by source. Thurman made $10 million, probably more than that. They say 2. They say A with the pay-per-view buys, but almost $10 million. So you're going to start off with that number anyway, if the $10 million were true, but it wasn't true. Sounds like all BS has set up to 2022 for a great fight year. To be honest, you see this what I'm going to say? Imagine, good looking out, my brother. There's a couple people for me that don't bullshit in the sport of boxing. Charles De Leon, my brother, what's good, my brother? There's a couple of people in the sport of boxing that have shown me that they're not bullshit about certain fights. Good looking out, Drew. Based on pay-per-view numbers released, the fight on pay-per-view made $13.3 million, and Bud and Porter get their guarantees, and ESPN and Top Rank made money too. I know they're gonna walk out of there. I know Bud is gonna walk out of there where if he made what? It was 6'4", but really 7'5", and he's gonna walk out of there with probably a little under than $10 million. Bud Crawford's gonna walk out of there with $10 million when all said and done, when all the numbers come back. And Porter's gonna walk out of there with like $8 million. A little under, a little over that. And ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget about side deals, man. There's some side deals in boxing. There's some sponsors and things of that nature that these guys make money too. It's not just the purse. It's just not the purse. Good looking out, Drew. Charles, my brother, the Punch Wrong Best channel. Good looking out, my brother from another mother. Years and years, my brother, man. Hope everything is good, man. Hope the kiddo is good. I want to see all the best welterweight fight each other, and that's all I want. I'm not making excuses for reasons the fight shouldn't happen. But put it this way, Intrigue, you know like I know. These guys, Thurman, Errol Spence and Bud Crawford just started fighting what Thurman already fought in 2016 to 2017. So are they, when we saying, wow, Errol Spence beat Porter. Wow, Errol Spence beat Danny. Wow, Bud Crawford beats Porter. Thurman already did that. What, for Thurman, you're not wowing me. You got to wow me. Do something that I have not done. What have they done? More than Thurman. And this is why Thurman could open his mouth. Y'all can hate it all y'all want. But when Thurman is saying, hey, yo, Errol Spence, why you want to fight me? You doing everything I'm doing. You want to fight. You want to follow my blueprint. Bundu, Porter, Danielson Garcia, Manny Pacquiao. I'm giving you the blueprint. I'm making it easier for you because now you could go home and study a Manny Pacquiao. You could study Danielson Garcia. You could study a Sean Porter so you can do what you got to do. But you're studying my tapes. Pay-per-view did $190K per. We don't know the overseas number or live gate, but just the domestic pay-per-view right now. So although the numbers is only $190K in US, or all money hasn't been counted yet. And if it's $190K, maybe. I doubt, to be perfectly honest, Drew, I doubt if that this fight made less than any Gervonta Davis fight. If this made $190K and is official, I don't believe that the Gervonta Davis ever made $200K in his last couple of fights. I don't believe that. Every celebrity was talking about this fight. Now, in the YTBC, even though you do videos, is not going up. But I can't think that Gervonta Tank Davis made had more pay-per-view buys. Y'all already know when it comes to the to Showtime and Fox, everything is 200K. 200K is the number. 250K is everything. Good looking out, Drew. Good looking out. Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that. Epicy Magic, good looking out. Porter, Garcia, Thurman have all fought all the monsters with each other. Exactly. And this is why you see wins and losses. Let's not forget that Manny Pacquiao beat Keith from Tom Thurman, which Manny Pacquiao is arguably the greatest. The 8th division world champion, the 5 lineal, the 12-time world champion, the ambassador, the senator, the humanitarian, the great husband, the great father, the greatest karaoke singer of them all. There you go. Manny Pacquiao is one that beat Keith from Tom Thurman. And he was seasoned going into that fight. Not 2.5 years shit. Good looking out, Magic. These guys have fought each other, and this is why there's some losses in their record. Now, if Sean Porter never would have fought competition like he has fought, then he'll be just like these guys with undefeated resumes. Or at least one loss. Drew, El Sazon, this means Top Rank will put more pay-per-view on ESPN Plus using the UFC pay-per-view model because now they don't have to share with cable satellite providers. Better for everyone all around. It's true. To be honest, man, I don't know people. I don't know people that got cable anymore, man. I think I'm the only one with the dumb ass with cable. I'll be honest. I'm the only dumb ass with cable. I don't even watch TV. The only time I watch TV, if I'm watching the Knicks game. And I'm catching the playback most of the time. You know? The only time I was watching cable, to be honest, bro, the only time I was watching cable when I was watching Sons of Anarchy, what else? The Mayans, that's my show, and sports. That's it. A couple of baseball games here and there. But now, even when I get when I buy pay-per-view Showtime, I on laptop, I do everything like is. I even watch the fight now on laptop. Sometimes the zone I got on my phone. Sometimes when I'm not even doing the live commentary and stuff like that. But it's funny that everybody was dissing the zone, but everybody's following the zone model, right? Good looking out, Drew. It's funny that everybody was dissing the zone, but everybody following the zone model now. No more cable, bro. Hustle the channel. Drew, Bobby Arim. Bobby Arim. He said no love for the Nets. Nah, man. I can't do it, bro. If the Nets was not on the division, on our conference, then yeah, man, I'm never gonna be a Nets fan. I don't give a fuck who they got. They could have LeBron James, Durant, Harden, Westbrook, all in the same team. Jordan coming from retirement. I don't give a damn now. Never nuts. Never nuts. Never nuts. Go back to Jersey. Go back to Jersey, man. Shout out to the Nets, though, man. They keep them basketball. Well, we coming back. Next, we coming back. At least we not out there giving everybody money like we used to, man. We just got at least we finally letting the team grow. Ellerbee, good looking out, Drew. My brother Ellerbee says, who wants to watch boxing on the app, but my Amazon Prime is buying part of the NFL rights. So all sports moving to apps only. Yeah. Man, to be honest, man, Leonard Ellerbee, he's doing a disservice to the sport of boxing. Like, yo, my man, I know that you're a promoter of Gervonta Tank Davis, but what you do, promoting is not shitting on everybody else is doing their thing in the sport of boxing. He shits on Teofimo Lopez. He shits on Josh Taylor. He shits on Devin Haney. Oh, these guys ain't doing nothing. My man, you're only counting numbers because it was a pandemic. You saying that Josh Taylor can't sell, he don't bring that into the table. My brother, how can you say that you don't bring that into the table when you were undefeated champion, an undisputed champion? How can you say Josh Taylor brings that into the table? How can you say that? Because you counting the numbers when it was a pandemic? Because you counting the numbers of Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez when it was a pandemic? You counting those numbers? You counted the numbers of Devin Haney when he fought Linares, but it was only 7,000 tickets or 5,000 tickets that's only available so they could buy. But if you don't know what's going on, Leonard Ellerbee could easily persuade you. Look at the way he was promoting Isaac Cruz. Oh my God, he's gonna follow in the footsteps of Canelo Alvarez. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, my man. Promote, but please be realistic on your promotion, my brother, because you ain't faking nobody around here. Promote, but don't discredit and devalue great. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: ain't nothing Gervonta Tank Davis is doing. It's going to the record books. Nothing Gervonta Tank Davis is doing right now is going to the Hall of Fame. Nothing right now that Gervonta Tank Davis, you already know, is one of my favorite fighters. Been following him since the amateurs, but nothing that Gervonta Tank Davis is doing right now is Hall of Fame worthy. Devin Haney is fighting. Look at Devin Haney is fighting JoJo. Top five lightweight right now. Even George Kambosa is ranked higher than Isaac Cruz. And you was going to fight Rolly, who's not even in the top 10. Get out of here with that bullshit. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to be honest, bro. You know why? You know why Showtime was mad at Rolly? It wasn't because of the chick. Showtime was mad at Rolly because when they asked him during the promotion, they said, who's the best lightweight? And he said Teofimo Lopez, and they got mad at him. Why are you mentioning that name? Well, Leonard Ellerbee has been out there indirectly saying that I'm sabotaging the takeover because he said it recently. Oh, Teofimo Lopez said that shit is stuck in his mind, bro. Oh, because Teofimo Lopez said that he's gonna take the date of Floyd Mayweather. Motherfucker, he had the date first. He had the date first. What you talking about? And y'all did all that power shit. Showtime did all that power shit. That was some petty shit. What Mayweather Promotions did was some petty shit. Trying to put on the same date in the same town. Really. Same date, same town. Oh, you said that you could take Floyd Mayweather's date. Even the Florida State Commission wasn't playing that shit because the Florida State Commission told Mayweather Promotions that, oh, there can't be two big events in the same city. That's why they moved it to June 6th. Triller got butt off. I believe that too. I'm going to tell you like this. This is against the playground. This is a small community, bro. Boxing is a small community with a lot of corruption, a lot of politics in it. I'm telling you, I'm being real. That Triller shit, I think they got bought off. They trying to sabotage Teofimo Lopez because in the end of the day, they still did that event in the Barclays Center. They still did the event in the Barclays Center, and it was a good turnout. Imagine if Teofimo Lopez was still on the headline in Brooklyn. I was out there. It was a good turnout. So when I saw that, I know for a fact they were trying to sabotage that dude. Pound for pound boxing was good, my brother. They did some petty shit. Just like they do some petty shit with Rolly. Because Rolly said, this is the real reason. Fuck it. I'm going, hey, everybody got this conspiracy theory? Because I haven't seen Rolly get charged yet. What happened is she magically disappeared. You remember when that judge was going through it? The Supreme judge, what's his name? Was going with that politics, with Donald Trump's judge and all that shit. Magically, that woman disappeared. What happened to that girl what happened to the 8 girls, the 7 girls that was going after Rolly? What happened? What happened to them? What's their name? Where are they? Where's the charges? I mean, we see Rolly everywhere. Maybe this, ladies and gentlemen, that Rolly maybe said what he should have never said in actually biting the hands that feeds him, but he was just too real and couldn't keep his mouth shut. Let's be honest. So when Rolly said in the interview after the press conference that Mayweather don't do shit. They don't do nothing. They don't promote me. I made it up to this level on my own. Nobody promote me. They promote Gervonta Tank Davis. You remember that? They don't do nothing for me. Oh, we don't do nothing for you. And they pull the plug on Rolling. That's why they put the plug on Rolling. Because he kept it real. Rolly said, I make more money off investments. I don't even make money with Mayweather Promotions. That's what Rolly said. That's why they pulled him out of that card. Because he told the truth about his situations with Mayweather Promotions. Ladre Stephens, what's good, my brother? Do you think David Avanesian is too big a risk for Thurman as a comeback fight? Well, David Avanesian is going to be fighting Virgil Ortiz. Is mandated to fight Virgil Ortiz. So I think that Keith Thurman at this stage of his career, he's only going to go to the gym for a big fight. I don't think at this level these guys are going to get up for just a tune-up. I think they're too old. I think they got a lot of wear and tear in their body, and they're not going to go to a training camp for just a tune-up fight. At this stage, they're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? They probably going to get knocked out or get stopped. They got to go back into the gym and knowing that they got the best available opponent and is elite, and they're going to make money off of it. They're not going to slave it anymore. They're not going to go through they're not going to go. Fighters could fight all the time. You know what I'm saying? Fighters could fight all the time. You know what makes them retire? Hear what Sean Porter's saying. What makes them retire is camp. Camp. I could fight right now. They could fight right now. But the 10-week, the 12-week, the 8 weeks, the runs, the sparring, you get fucked up in sparring. You know what I'm saying? That's where you go brain. That's where you go brain. I know fighters that already got black spots in their brain. Not because of fights. It's because all those sparrings throughout the years. Think about it. These guys been fighting since Keith Thurman been fighting since he was 7 years old. Think about the fights, but think about how many sparring sessions has he had. He's been sparring and he had gotten knocked down by Winky Wright in sparring. So just think about it. That his sparring with Berto, Winky Wright. Think about all these sparring shits that he had. Chad Dawson. You know? The amateurs. The professional circuit. Man, it's good looking Ollie Drake. I just think that these guys are not. I don't think that Keith Thurman is going to go back in the ring if it's not big. It's just like Leonard. Remember Sugar Ray Leonard when he came back after 3 years? He came after 3 years, right? To fight Hector Camacho. He ain't taking no tune-up. He just went straight through, man. I ain't going to take no tune-up. I ain't going to no gym for like 10, 12 and then fight his tune-up. And I know I'm going to knock him out and then Now, they was on their 20s, but now, think about it. Thurman, his hands is effed up, right? He's not going to a training camp to fight somebody that's going to be tailor-made for him to knock out and did all that shit for nothing. So what he's going to do, he's going to train the whole year. He's just going to train the whole year. Get his body right. Look, when I saw him in person during the Manny Pacquiao versus Ugas, he was trim, bro. I could tell that Keith one-time Thurman was weighing 160. 162, maybe. He was trim, bro. When I saw Keith one-time Thurman, I said, okay, all right, he's in the gym. When I saw Thurman out there, I said, he's in the gym. You could see when the fighters in the gym, they bloated, they got a little gut. Keith Thurman was in shape. So I know that Keith Thurman is in the gym. You feel me? Will we see the best Thurman, though, after 2-year layoff? I think we'll see a good Keith Thurman in the first half of the fight. Keith one-time Thurman always starts off good in the first round. Even when Manny Pacquiao, he just got caught. But if you look at the fight, he actually was doing good. He was putting some pressure on Manny Pacquiao. But then, you know, his defense, when he moved back. This is what I don't like about Keith one-time Thurman, that he started using the shoulder roll. He started using the shoulder roll even with Josecito Lopez, and I know Keith Thurman says the amateurs, bro, he never used that defensive stand. He was always a high guard defensive fighter. High guard, and he feints a lot. He was never this. When he started doing this, he started getting clipped. He started getting hit. Josecito Lopez, Manny Pacquiao. I'm like, what are you doing, Keith? That's not you. Because Keith was just blocking. He wasn't catching. He wasn't catching off nothing. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm trying to say? So I think Keith went away a little bit from Dan Birmingham's coaching. That's what I think. Because if you listen to him in the last fight and Dan Birmingham was trying to give him instructions, he was just not listening to Dan Birmingham. He was not listening to Dan Birmingham, and you could tell he wasn't listening to Dan Birmingham because he said that he didn't even know which round it was in the fight. You know what I'm saying? So I think he blanked out. I think that's what happens when you don't stay in the gym. And then you have if you look at the training, he started doing different type of regimens again, having football trainers and stuff like that. Nah, man. Don't you see that when these guys start getting trainers that is not boxing mind trainers, even if strength conditioning coach trainers, they don't do that good. Have y'all noticed that? Is it just me? Good looking out of Drake. Have y'all noticed that when they start implementing some new guys in the camp, like look at the guys that they start off with, right? Even the strength conditioning coach is a boxing coach, not a football strength conditioning coach, not a basketball strength conditioning coach, nothing like that. Do these guys have boxing strength and conditioning coaches? Floyd Mayweather, who is a strength and conditioning coach? Floyd Mayweather knew what to do. His strength and conditioning was boxing strength and conditioning. We didn't see him doing kettlebell workout. We didn't see him do that. We didn't see him in a gridiron. We didn't see him do that. Why these guys are doing shit that is not boxing? And I'm not shitting on the coaches, but I'm seeing a pattern here. Let me know if I'm wrong. I am seeing a pattern here that these guys start hiring all bunch of people that's not boxing people. And all of a sudden, they're getting hit. They're actually getting more tired than before. Tell me, am I lying or not? I mean, Thurman ain't looked great ever since he implemented these trainers. You know what I'm saying? Look at Errol Spence. Errol Spence wasn't knocking nobody out no more. I don't know. Look at Manny Pacquiao. Who's a strength and conditioning coach? A boxing strength and conditioning coach. Manny Pacquiao stays with his boxing strength and conditioning coach, a guy that is known in the sport of boxing. I am my man. Don't spam. We got it, man. 3 minutes to go. I got you, my brother. I got you, my brother. One more time. Got to put you on timeout. The beating he took was the loss. He left that fight damaged. I think he was more damaged. But the thing is with Keith Thurman, when he's talking about Bud Crawford, am I going to hear the same thing that we heard from Sean Porter? And I think that that's a high possibility. Because Keith Thurman, in the biggest fight of his career, pay-per-view fight, in his biggest fight of his career, in the biggest fight of Sean Porter's career, I'm not going to say the biggest fight because I think that Thurman was a big fight. I think the Errol Spence or unification bout was a big fight. Errol Spence, you saw what he heard. You heard what he said when he was preparing for Sean Porter, that he needed to lose 20 pounds in the last week. What is happening to these guys that the fight, one of the biggest fights and pay-per-view fights, these guys are not hungry anymore. They're not starving anymore. They're not doing what they need to do to prepare at the highest level. Keith Thurman said on the PBC podcast after the Manny Pacquiao fight, he said, I couldn't find my killer instinct. I had to lose 35 pounds during camp. After the Josecito Lopez fight, I gained 35 to 40 pounds, and I had to lose 35 to 40 pounds to fight Manny Pacquiao. What is happening to these guys in their biggest fight that they don't want to prepare? Is it the money? Because I'll tell you this, if Keith Thurman, he dropped the ball and he knows it. If he would have knocked out Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, we'll be talking about Canelo Alvarez, Keith Thurman, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. If it was Keith Thurman's job to knock out Manny Pacquiao, it was his job. I think with any of these elite fighters, if they have a threat fight, they will come mentally and physically ready. But that's what I'm saying, Magic. I thought so, but I don't think so as well. Because look what Sean Porter said. Look what Keith Thurman said. Look what Errol Spence said. Errol Spence, after the car accident, and then he did the interview with the Showtime, what's his name again? And he said that I was self-destructing before the Sean Porter fight. Andy Ruiz didn't want to go to the gym in the biggest rematch fight of his career. The money-making fight of his career, he didn't want to go to the gym on their biggest fight. What is happening to these fighters? At first, I was like, what is going on? Is it a PBC thing? We can't blame it on PBC. We can't blame it on Al Heyman. Al Heyman's going to give you the opportunity, and boom, you got to take advantage of it. But what is happening to these fighters? They are fulfilled money for feints and shrimp, fillets and shrimp. And that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, Thurman talks a good game. He had me, bro. He had me with the Manny Pacquiao. But then he said he couldn't find a killer instinct. You can't find the killer instinct versus Manny Pacquiao. This is the changing of the guards, bro. This is the ending of an era, and you couldn't find the killer instinct. That was shocking to me. So is Keith Thurman, yo, not gonna lie, Punch, if you give me multi-million payday, I'ma look like Maidana after a month. Yo, what is happening to these guys, bro? This is why Mayweather is special. Canelo Alvarez is special. Bernard Hopkins is special. You know, even a lot of guys, Oscar De La Hoya was still special, making a lot of money. Mike Tyson was still special at a young age, still making a lot of money. But you know what happened to him versus Buster Douglas? Díceselo, JNY Boxing, díceselo, Punch, el número uno, el sazón, el borracho, el pastor de boxeo. Coñazo, díceselo ahí, coñazo. Maybe this is what I see. I see that Errol Spence, the way when he's talking about Bud Crawford, he's not hungry. If I would, I'm not going to say he's not hungry. That's what I'm, just like how we saw Keith Thurman when he was around Errol Spence, be like, yo, my man, your energy be changing, bro. It's like he goes from, you know, when it be like 0 to 100, it's like he's 100 to 0. What does he do? What is it? But when it comes to Bud Crawford, Errol Spence is what? Like, yo, my man, I will step inside the ring, bro. You there for a reason. Why are you there for? Why are you there for? Like, I'm not gonna go to it. Yo, if I'm okay, look at it. Look at this. You know what's funny? This was funny, and I gotta bring it up. People made fun of Boo Andre. He went to the fight, but what do you think he's gonna go to the fight for? To to love and admire Canelo Alvarez? No, he's going to go to the fight because he wants to fight. He's a fighter. Regardless if y'all didn't like the call out, regardless if y'all don't want him to fight Canelo Alvarez, he's a fighter and he did what he needed to do. But people ain't like that. But Errol Spence is there. Errol Spence is there and he don't say nothing and people ain't like that. Make up your mind. Do you want fighters to step to the fight, to the fighter that they want to fight? Because I like that. I like that that Boo Boo and Dre step up to Canelo Alvarez, man. But Canelo, get the fuck out of here, man. Payday. It was funny about that shit too. But I expect that from a fighter. I don't expect Boo Boo and Dre to go to a Triple G fight and just be like, I'm here. No. What did Charlo do when he went to the Canelo fight, right? He was talking about playing. He went to Kalen playing. Yo, I'm rooting for you, but I want to fight you after maybe. But when it comes to Errol Spence, when Crawford is around, oh, his energy is changing. His energy is changing. Just like Keith Thurman's energy was changing when he was around you. Errol Spence, yeah, that's going to be my next video. Errol Spence is the new Keith Thurman. You are what you hate. Errol Spence is the new Keith Thurman. Errol Spence is what he hates. He hates Keith Thurman. Am I right or wrong? Let me know if I'm wrong. You know, I'm not sure. I'm not this guy that always want to praise that I'm right. Is Errol Spence the new Keith Thurman? Punch, why Charlo's so scared of Benavidez? I think, to be honest, a raw dog pause. I don't want people to really talk about Charlo and David Benavidez. That's giving a pass. I want Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. I want Charlo and Triple G. We need to stop skipping. We need to stop skipping. I don't want no Charlo and David Benavidez. He's not in 168. I want a unification bout, one of the prestige division in the sport of boxing, in the middleweight division. We need to stay on the neck of the middleweight division. Please, we need to stop talking about Charlo and David Benavidez. What we need to talk about is Demetrius Andrade and Charlo. Demetrius Andrade and Triple G. Charlo versus Andrade and Triple G. That's what we need to talk about. That's what we need to talk about. The more that we say Charlo and David Benavidez, is giving Charlo a pass not to fight Demetrius Andrade. It's giving Charlo a pass not to fight a Triple G. If we're not on Triple G's neck for not fighting Demetrius Andrade and Charlo, and we just say, okay, fight Murata, you know, then he's going to fight Murata. Let David Benavidez fight. How about David Benavidez fight Zurdo Ramirez? If he can't make 168 easily, Zurdo Ramirez and David Benavidez. Zurdo Ramirez versus Joe Smith Jr. Zurdo Ramirez versus Berturbiev. Zurdo Ramirez versus Bivol. David Benavidez versus Bivol. David Benavidez versus Berturbiev. No, I don't know. Charlo and the Benavidez, not now. And before I go, oh, my fault, Magic, my fault. When you interview Boo Boo, did you get a feeling of he wants to fight or cater to like the other main fighters? I feel he is treated like Bradley was not promoted. Nah, I think he wants to fight, to be honest, bro. He wants to fight. He wants to fight. His family wants to fight. You know, his family was all over Eddie Hearn, bro. That's why Eddie Hearn, you ain't see him. You ain't see Eddie Hearn do a lot of interviews. Eddie Hearn, I didn't even get a chance to get an interview with Eddie Hearn. And I interviewed Eddie Hearn before. Eddie Hearn only did an interview with Boxing Social, and the MTK. That's it. No, he didn't want to do no interview, and then he skipped right away. He didn't want to see Demetrius Andrade family because they're not happy with him. He wants to fight, and Demetrius Andrade really is not happy with him. But of course, man, he getting paid. He want Eddie Hearn to treat him like he treats Katie Taylor, like he treats Anthony Joshua. He is his fighter. Eddie Hearn did a disservice to Demetrius Andre by Eddie Hearn staying shut while Demetrius Andre was going at Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is not your fighter, Eddie Hearn. Canelo Alvarez is not your fighter. Regardless if people like Demetrius Andre or not, Eddie Hearn, Demetrius Andre is your fighter. What you needed to say was look at Canelo Alvarez and say, why don't you fight Demetrius Andre? Regardless if people want to see the fight or not, but that's your guy. You is his promoter, not Canelo Alvarez. Youngster, what's good, Punch? Who you got, Boo Boo versus Benavidez? Ooh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. But again, that's a hard one. I think that Benavidez could. I think that Boo Boo could outbox Benavidez. I think that Benavidez has gotten a little better, but it's a 50-50 in my opinion. But I don't want to talk about that fight because I want Boo Boo and Charlo and Boo Boo, Boo Boo and Charlo and Boo Boo. No Benavidez. Benavidez is 168. He needs to get his belts in 168. Let Benavidez chase Canelo Alvarez. He wants. Let Benavidez chase that. If David Benavidez can't make the 168, let David Benavidez move up to 175, my friends. No, we're giving a pass to the unification bout when we say Boo Boo Benavidez, Charlo Benavidez. We're giving a pass to the most prestige division in the sport, or one of the most prestige divisions in the sport of boxing. We need to stay on that. Thank you, my brother. Davey, Andre versus Charlo, Munguia. Exactly. That's what we need to stay on. Munguia, they gave Munguia a pass. They gave him a pass. Munguia was supposed to be fighting Demetrius Andre. He was a WBO mandatory. And then he just went to the WBC. And then people just praised him, Jaime Munguia. That's his big fight too, Demetrius Andre. At least he's fighting a name with a guy that got to back up with a country. And now you know who they pushing now? The guy from Kazakhstan, who's going to be the mandatory of Demetrius Andre. Oh, now Demetrius Andre got to fight him. But ain't nobody was saying that Jaime Munguia needed to fight Demetrius Andre. Ain't nobody got on Golden Boys Promotions neck. But how about if Demetrius Andre did not want to fight Jaime Munguia, then everybody be saying that Boo Boo Andre was ducking Jaime Munguia. Come on, man. People are not being fair. This is why I go to bat for Demetrius Andre, because the people's narrative is not consistent with everybody else. It's not consistent with anybody else. Fuck it. I'm going to speak on it. People are not consistent when it comes to Demetrius Andre. They be hating on Demetrius Andre hard. Y'all not fair with the dude. Oh, he's boring. He hasn't fought nobody. Well, maybe if somebody fights him, he will fight somebody. And please stop coming up to me with the 2014. Well, he didn't fight Lara. And he didn't fight Charlo. Deja esa vaina. Yeah, that was fucking 6 years ago, bro. The same way that I hate when people try to bring, well, Canelo Alvarez have trouble with slick fighters. Look at Lara. That was years ago. Well, he had trouble with Mayweather. That was years ago. Why are you talking about Canelo Alvarez and Lara fight? Like Canelo Alvarez have not grown from that. Like he hasn't become a better and a greater fighter. Way greater fighter. But I get mad the same way. Why are we talking about Demetrius Andre to fight Lara? Demetrius Andre to fight Charlo? That's 2014. We're almost in 2022. Y'all still talking about that bullshit? Or y'all gonna hang him on that shit? He's in position in the middleweight division. Charlo Demetrius Andre. Let's go, man. Charlo Demetrius Andre. Triple G Demetrius Andre. Triple G and Charlo. That's the energy. He's boring. He knocks somebody out. Oh, but he ain't nobody. Jason Q, ¿qué tú quieres? ¿Qué ustedes quieren, maldito sea? ¿Qué ustedes quieren, eh? Oh, but we want him to do that to a fighter. When bless be the fans that push the fight. Y'all mad when Errol Spence walks out of the arena and doesn't step in the ring and doesn't step to Bud, but then y'all get mad at Demetrius Andre stepping to Canelo Alvarez. Dime, ¿qué ustedes quieren? Dime. What is the contradiction in y'all shit? Talk to me, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to me. Talk to me. We're boxing fans at the end of the day. Just like I'm already hated when y'all motherfuckers have always bring Lara and Demis Andre. He didn't fight Lara, he didn't fight Charlo and things of that nature. I'm tired of people bringing, well, Canelo Alvarez didn't do it. I mean, he struggled with Lara, and so he's gonna struggle with Kalen Plant. Y mira look what Canelo Alvarez did because y'all stupid analysis. Y'all trying to analyze Canelo Alvarez of 2014. Mira que estúpido ustedes son. Really. That's like me cuando yo era un virgin and I was, yo le estaba metiendo una tipa at 15 years old. Por ahora, cuando yo tengo 22 años, mira, coño, coño, te pongo así, ya, pum. Esa tipa dice, oh, nah, there ain't no 15-year-old. That's a fucking man. Right? I ain't that man 6 years ago, baby. Ahí yo te coño, te mira, boom, boom, boom. Boom, hit the ceiling, vete aquí, tipa, who next? Hey, no somos lo mismo. Canelo no es lo mismo, señores. Still can't believe Spence versus Mikey happened. Facts. Sex magic. Can you imagine if somebody be like, yo, like you changed and you have grown as a person, but people still wanna critique you and wanna still analyze you of the man of 6 years ago? 6 years ago, I was homeless living in my car, and now yo tengo una casa. ¿Tú me vas a decir que yo soy un bon todavía? ¿Eh? No, no soy un bon. Tengo la mente de un bon todavía, porque yo... Punch, dímelo, yo. What's good, Kings of the Commonwealth? Shout out to Kings of the Commonwealth. You ain't the same man 6 years ago. Don't fucking you know what I'm saying? Like, analyze me of the man that I was 6 years ago. Some of you guys were single 6 years ago, and now y'all family men. Some of you guys venden droga 6 years ago, pero ahora tienen un trabajo bueno, right? Oh no, Canelo Alvarez and Andre didn't fight Lara. But ahora, what's happening now? He's in position to get a unification bout. And y'all still stuck on 2014. Y'all still stuck on Canelo Alvarez of 2000 when he fought Mayweather at the age of 23. And that's why he's fucking everybody up and you still stuck. Why Canelo Alvarez is doing this? I mean, he's not great. I mean, he's just picking the weakest of all champions. How about this? How about this? Since Canelo Alvarez was 23 years old. Now, how about this? How about this narrative? How about Floyd Mayweather picked the weakest of the champions when he fought Canelo Alvarez as being a 23-year-old green fighter? Oh, no dicen eso ustedes, ¿verdad? How about he picked the weakest of all champions? No. Oh, y'all don't want to start that narrative. Because that's a new narrative when it comes to Canelo Alvarez. I never heard that narrative, the weakest of all champions. I heard this shit now with Canelo Alvarez. I heard cherry picking before because the weakest of all champion. Did anybody say that Floyd Mayweather picked the weakest of all champion or green Canelo Alvarez that only fought Trout and fought everybody in Mexico? And for Viejo Mosley? Dime ustedes, dime. Vamos, let's start a narrative ahora, maldito sea ustedes. Y'all don't want to start that one, right? No? The weakest of all champions. I never heard that shit in my fucking life in boxing. I never heard the weakest of all champions in my life. So now there's weak champions. I never heard that in my life. If Canelo Alvarez fights Bivol, then he's the weakest of all champions because he didn't fight the unified champion in Beterbiev. ¿Verdad? If Demis Andre fights Charlo and he didn't fight Triple G because Triple G got more of a historic resume or career than these guys, you're gonna be like, well, Demis Andre, you picked the weakest of all champions. Why you didn't fight Triple G? Y'all ain't gonna play that narrative, right? But with Canelo Alvarez, y'all come with all these stupid ass narrative. The man is going to be going to the cruiserweight division to become a 5-division world champion, and y'all say, well, he's peaking the weakest of all champion. Maldito, he's going 30 pounds up. Oh my God, man, todavía. I'm telling you, folks. What Canelo Alvarez did, not what Canelo Alvarez did, but what happened to these folks is a white man with red hair le pegó el bicho en la nalga de ellos. Sin vaselina. That's what happened. And now when they see Canelo Alvarez, they're like, oh, I hate Canelo, man. Because a white man with red hair se lo metió, rape your ass. That's what happened. Maybe it was a priest. It was a priest, a white red-headed priest. Se lo metió in the confession room. And now when you see Canelo Alvarez, y'all fucking mad. Fuck me. Fuck Canelo Alvarez. He's a fucking cheater. He's a cheater. No, te volvió. Hey, ese blanquito, priest, fucking you. That will happen. Nah. No good. But I'm just saying, that's the way y'all acting. Anyway, man, tomorrow is another day. Y'all already know, man. It's Punch Bone Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine, el doble sazón, el borracho del boxeo. Tomorrow is going to be, I think that's here from Lopez and George Cambo's are going to be working in the gym, media day or whatever, and stuff like that. Let me see if I can go down there. It's New York City, Madison Square Garden. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next. Hey, tomorrow, check me out. I'm going to be up early all day. Matter of fact, I'm going to drop a video tonight. All right? Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.